Today we are going to start new topic, which is Python strings. We will discuss it in detail like other data types. So let's start. Python strings, just like other strings that we have studied in C, C++, they are same. So string is basically used to input textual data. We see that the most common data type that we enter in the computer is textual data. Either we send messages or emails, or we say something or give any command to the computer. It is all in textual form. So strings are a very important data type which we use. So here we will study how to use them in Python language. The collection or sequence of characters is called a string. The collection or sequence of characters is called a string. As Python lists contain a sequence of heterogeneous data elements, the string contains a continuous or contiguous sequence of characters. In list or tuples, we separate the elements by putting commas, but in string, we input a sequence of characters which are used for further processing. So basically in strings, we use alphanumeric characters. They can be either simple characters. Suppose I write alpha. This is a string. If I put some special symbol like underscore, dollar, hash, they can also comes under strings. And I can also write digits as well. If I write number 2. So this is also a string. So a string can contain alphabets, digits, and special characters. And one more thing I want to tell you that as computer understands only binary data, which is in the form of zeros and ones, so string also needs to be converted into machine language before further processing. And there is some coding technique is used for converting a string into machine language. So there are basically two kinds of encodings used. One is ASCII and other is Unicode encoding. In Python language, Unicode encoding is used for these strings because Unicode encoding is used to bring uniformity as it includes all the characters of all the languages. In C and C++, ASCII coding is used for converting a string into machine language, but in Python we use Unicode encoding. It is having a large set of characters included in that as compared to ASCII characters. And it also brings uniformity because there are numerous kinds of programming languages include. So it can include their symbols, their special symbols also. So you can say that Unicode encoding is superior to ASCII coding. Now, how to create a string in Python? Creating a string, it is very simple. You can see through this programming illustration. Suppose I have created a new variable, new string, and I have assigned the value Python to it. You should note that I have included it in single quotes. So we can give string value in single quotes. Now, if we are going to print it, just write print new string, it will display its value. Then there is another example. You can also input a string by double quotes like this. Here double quotes are mentioned. Even then, you can assign a string value to a variable. If you want to print it, it will display the output like this. And there is third option also, third way, in which you can input a string by using triple quotes. Single quote, then double quote, and then give you a string value, then again close the double quotes and then single quote. So 3-quote format can also be used for inputting a string. Single quote, double quote, and 3-quote format can be used for strings in Python language. Now accessing string characters. How to access string characters? Just like we have done in list and tuples, we can access them either by their index value, which starts from 0, and by using slicing operator, and we can also access them by negative indexing that we have studied in lists and tuples also. So there are three options. One is through indexing, positive indexing, negative indexing, and third one is by using slicing operator. So it's very simple. Suppose I have this program, new string, and the value is assigned as Python. Then for accessing the first element, I will write new string, and in square brackets, the subscript value is given as 0. So it will print the very first character, which is P, because it is indexed like this. Now, if I want to print third index, so at third position, I have value H. And if I use negative indexing, which starts from backside, backward, then N will be designated with -1, O with -2, H with -3, and so on. So if I want to print -1, it will print N. And the next one is by using slicing operator. 1, 2, 3. That means I want to print characters, first three characters, starting from 0, which will go up to 2. P, Y, T. Sorry, it starts from 1, ending at 2, because 0 is not included. So it will print Y and T. And the last one is colon, that is slicing operator, and -2. That means it will start from beginning and will go up to -2. So from beginning, we see that it is -2, P, Y, T, and H. Therefore, the last output P, Y, T, H will be displayed. Next is changing or deleting string characters. We have already studied that we can change or delete a particular element from a list, but that was not possible in tuple because tuples are immutable. Similar to tuples, strings are also immutable. We cannot change or remove a particular element from a string, just like tuples, but we can delete the entire string. So let's see through an example. Suppose I have this example, new string is equal to Python. Then I want to change third subscript, third index with K. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third index means H with K. I want to replace H with K. Fine. So I have written new string K, and then I have used another command, del new string, that will delete the entire string, and then we are going to print it. So let's see what happens in the output. You can see when we are going to change the value of a particular element, an error is generated. str object does not support item assignment because they are immutable. We cannot change the value of a particular element in a string. So it will generate an error. And the next one is del new string. Name, new string is not defined. This is also giving an error. New string is not defined because it already been deleted by the del keyword. If I delete it, then it will not be existed in the interpreter, and when we are going to print it, it will give an error that it does not exist, it is not on the system. That means it is deleted. So you should remember it. Strings are immutable, non-editable, just like tuples. Okay. So let's move further. Python string operations. There are certain operations that we can perform on strings, and the most common one is concatenation. In C++, we have learned concatenation by operator overloading. Suppose I have two objects, I want to add them, then I do it like obj1 plus obj2 in C++. Then we can perform concatenation of two strings. Concatenation means if I want to combine two strings. Suppose I have name Robin Singh, and if I want to concatenate them, I will just write plus and they will be concatenated in Python language. But in C or C++, you need to write a complete code for concatenating two strings. In C, we use the function stringcat, and in C++, we can concatenate them by using simply plus operator and with operator overloading. But this is very simple in Python. You just need to put plus symbol and they will be joined. Let's see. We have two strings, hello, and string 2, welcome to Python programming. Welcome to Python programming. Now we are going to print them, string 1 plus string 2. That means these both strings are now concatenated. Hello, welcome to Python programming. This is the output of concatenating them. And if I want to multiply strings, that is also possible. If I want to display the same output again and again, I can do that by using string 1 multiply 3. So it will print the same string 3 times. Hello, hello, hello. So in this way, a string can be displayed multiple times by using the multiply operator. Suppose you want to display some output like welcome, 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 then you can use this multiply operator for concatenation of strings like a loop. It will display that many times up to which you will multiply them. Next is iteration and membership test. Just like list tuples, we use loop with them. Similarly, with strings, we can iterate through loop, for loop or while loop. Let's see how we can do it. String 1 is equal to Python programming. For I in string 1, then print I. So it will pick character one by one and display it on the screen. First of all, the first character will be picked, which is P, then Y, then T, H, O, N. One by one, every character will be displayed until the entire string is exhausted. So it will display the output completely. And in and not in operators, which we have studied in special operators, are used to check whether a particular character exists in the list or string or not. So we can do that by using this print P in string 1. So we want to check whether P exists in string 1. So the result will be true. And I'm going to check T in string 1. It is also true because P and T are already in the string. So let's see the output. False and true. See, the result of P in string 1 is false. Why? Because I have supplied small p value over here. Since Python is a case sensitive language, that means capital P and small p are different. That's why the value comes out to be false for this check, and for T is small, the answer will come out to be true over here. Fine. So you need to remember that Python is a case sensitive language and the meaning of capital letters and small letters is entirely different. Next is string formatting. You can format your strings output by using various format specifiers, which we also study in C also. So this is a list of various format specifiers, and we also call them escape sequence. And the description is also given over here. Like / single quote. This is used for putting single quote around the string. This is for putting double quotes around the string. This is for backspace, bell, form feed, line feed, that means new line, that means carriage return, that also belongs to new line, and horizontal tab, vertical tab. So these are various escape sequences which are used for formatting string output. Next is Python string built-in methods. So there are various built-in methods available with strings in Python, which are very important and very useful also. If I want to determine the length of the string, then I can use the method len and give the value of string variable in this. It will give you the number of characters in the string. Then max string, it returns you the maximum alphabetical character in the string. Suppose if I give the name Sachin, then the highest character is S over here, it will return S. Next is min string, it will return the lowest character, the smallest alphabetical character in the string. This encoding is done as per Unicode characters. So if my string is alphanumeric, then the character which is having the smallest Unicode number, that string will be, that character will be returned by using min str. And similarly for max str, the string, the character which will have the maximum value in Unicode numbering, that will be returned by the system. Then upper, which is used to make all the letters in uppercase. Suppose I have the string true. In this T is already upper. So the rest of the elements will also be in uppercase and the output will be TRUE. Then lower, it will lowers the case. All the characters will be in the lower case. Capitalize, that means only the first character of a string will be capitalized. That means it will become like this. Then center width fill char. It is used to center align a particular string where we'll give the spacing, space padded string with original string center to a total width of the columns. So according to the screen dimension, it will put the string in the center by specifying the width. Is digit, it returns true if all the string elements are digits. Suppose I give only number value 3568 and it is declared as a string, then it will return true. Is alpha, it returns true value if all the characters in the string are alphabets. Otherwise, it will give false. Is L num, that means alphanumeric. If a string is a combination of alphanumeric numbers or characters, then it will be true, otherwise it returns false. Is lower, this is used to check whether the given string is in lowercase. It will be true if all the characters will be in lowercase. They are almost same as C functions or methods. Then is upper, this is used to check whether the alphabets are in uppercase. Next is count, str, beginning, end, length of string. End can be determined by length of string. So it is already used here, the method which already exists. It counts how many times str occurs in a string or in a substring of string if starting index big and the ending index end are given. So it will tell you how many times a particular string exists in a complete textual line. Suppose line may you want to check how many times it occurs, then you can use this format. Then index, str big is equal to 0 and end is equal to length string. So it will give you the index value of that particular string or substring. Is title, it returns true if string is properly title cased and false otherwise. Is numeric, it returns true if Unicode string contains only numeric characters and false otherwise. So they are similar to is digit and is alpha. Swap case, it inverts the case for all letters in the string. That means uppercase letters will become lowercase and lowercase letters will become uppercase. So these are various methods which you can go through and implement them according to your requirement. Title is decimal and is space. Space is used when all the characters are of white space. Is decimal if there is some decimal point number on the textual line. And title, it returns title case version of the string, that is all words begin with uppercase and rest are lowercase. So if you have a line of a text, then the first letter of every word will be in uppercase. So this is all about strings in Python. We have studied how to declare a string, how to access elements of a string, and how to see membership of a string, and what are the various methods of a string. We have studied them in detail over here.